and welcome back to my channel. If you hear my cats fighting, please ignore them. They're literally feral, actually. For today's video, we are going to be doing something that I wasn't sure I was going to do for a while, but now that I've been on booktube YouTube for a few months, I joined back in July, I think it was my first video, and it's now September. I'm going to be doing the booktube newbie tag. I see this circulate all over YouTube, but I literally searched to the depths of the internet to find like the original booktube newbie tag, the one everyone is using for 2024, because it seems like everyone has a different set of questions. I got overwhelmed, so we're just gonna go with the set of questions that I found. Do you hear them? So the list that I took this from is from Ashley's book list. She does have a booktube, so I am gonna link it or share her here. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's do a little chit chat, a little Q&A, a little get to know me more outside of just what I post on this channel. Okay, question number one, why did I start this channel? This is kind of a loaded question. I started this channel partly on a whim, partly because I love booktube and I love the community, and also partly because I have always had the desire to just do a YouTube channel. I grew up in the prime time of YouTube, like 2010s, where everyone had a channel, especially the makeup community. That was like my bread and butter. That's what I used to watch religiously as a teenager. And so I always had YouTube in the back of my mind, and also because of my dad, he films for YouTube on his little channel. I'm not gonna say little because he has more subscribers than me, but he films for his channel and he's always had us in front of a camera and he's always been filming and editing, and partly that inspired me to just why not have a YouTube channel? What is holding me back? Originally, when I created my bookstagram, I told myself I wasn't gonna go onto YouTube until I had 1,000 followers. But then July hit and I was like, really, what is stopping me? Like, why am I preventing myself from doing something that I want to do? But yeah, that's fine, you know, just inspiration from my dad, partly on a whim, partly because it's something that's always been in the back of my mind, and there's no reason not to do it, you know? Life is too short to not do the things that you want to do. Question number two, what are you most excited about for this channel? Honestly, learning more about video editing and filming. Does filming and editing take a lot of time from my already busy life? Yes. Is it tiring work? Yes. But is it something I'm really enjoying learning about? Yes. Absolutely yes. I'm loving learning all the techniques and the creativity that comes with filming and making content, and it has become a creative outlet for me. I work in a very STEM heavy field. I'm an engineer, so I don't do anything creative in those 40 hours of my week, and it's nice to just do something that is creative, that just works that part of my brain. And so I'm really excited to just keep working on the craft, if you will, of editing and making content and just being creative. That's what I'm most excited about. Question number three, why do you love reading? I have loved reading, I think, almost my entire life. It really started with the AR program at my elementary school. For those who may not know what that is, it's basically like an accelerated reading program, and you read books, you took quizzes when you finished them, and it gave you points. And as you got more points, you were able to get basically like trinkets, pizza, like free pizza at Pizza Hut, stuff like that. And then eventually, like, the top one for my school was like a limo ride, and they took you to Dairy Queen for lunch while your classmates were like chilling in the cafeteria. That really motivated me to read, and because of that, I just used to read so much, and I really fell in love with just escaping into all of these different kinds of stories. Reading is just a portal into another world and a way of being able to see point of views that you don't get to see in your everyday life, and that's why I love it. Question number four, what kinds of books do you like to read? I am heavy on fantasy. If you've seen a few of my videos already, you've probably put that together. I have always loved fantasy. My first book that was like super impactful on me was the Spiderwick series in elementary school by Holly Black, pure fantasy. Then we moved on to Percy Jackson and the Olympians, another stellar fantasy. Then we eventually moved on to The Mortal Instruments and The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare, Another amazing fantasy. Like, I have pretty much always gone towards fantasy, towards the magical, something that just is not contemporary in real life. I'm now wondering if I've just always wanted to escape real life my entire childhood and teenage years, or if I just or if it's just a coincidence. But that's my go-to. Contemporary romance, I do like them here and there, but I am a fantasy, romantasy girly at heart. Next question, book that you are currently reading. I am currently reading The Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. So far, I think I'm like halfway through. I'm really loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. I love the depth to the characters. I love all the little point of views. I love all the backgrounds that we're getting, all the background story. I'm a little bit confused on the world building, but I didn't read, or I haven't read Shadow and Bone yet. I just jumped into Six of Crows because everyone raves about Six of Crows. So I'm not holding that against her. I'm literally jumping into a universe technically midway. That's what I'm reading right now. I'm hoping, if I could speak, I'm hoping to finish it this weekend, but we'll see. Life has been a little crazy, but that's what I'm reading. It's really, really good if you haven't read it yet. Oldest book you read? If we go with like the classics in high school, probably Of Mice and Men, I think is one of the oldest ones that I can think of right now that I've read, which I remember liking. Or the short story, I cannot remember the full title right now, but The Yellow Wallpaper. I will share a picture. You guys, most people know this. This was maybe the oldest. I'll have to see which of the two is the oldest. I don't know exactly when either or was published, but that's what I can think of. In terms of like books I've willingly chosen to read, the oldest one that I have read is probably the Spider-Brick series. Because I was a child when that was coming out, and that has to be the oldest. That or Narnia. Maybe Narnia? I don't know. Like, I'll update y'all, but those two are probably the oldest that I willingly chose to read. I forgot. I also read Pride and Prejudice in high school. That was willingly. I did that for a book report. So Pride and Prejudice, the Yellow Wallpaper one, Of Mice and Men, those are probably like the three true oldest, but those are all related to school. And then willingly was Spiderwick and potentially Narnia. Most recent DNF. I actually haven't DNF'd a book in a hot minute. The most recent one though is actually a audiobook called The Days at the Morisaki Bookshop, if I'm remembering it correctly. I got like halfway through and it just really lost me pacing wise. The pacing just got weird and there wasn't really anything going on in it, which is unfortunate because I'm really intrigued by Japanese literature and fiction. I read Before the Coffee Gets Cold and loved that, and that's why I wanted to give a shot to Days at the Morisaki Bookshop, but it just didn't work for me. How many books are too many in a series? Ooh, this is tough for me because I have a love-hate relationship with series. I do really like trilogies, I think. That's my preferred amount. 3 books, even if they're chunky, that's a good amount. But I do want to read Throne of Glass, and I know that's like 8 books. And I would like to give it the benefit of the doubt that there's like so much going on in Throne of Glass that it deserves to be 8 books. So I guess my real answer is like I prefer 3, but I don't mind if there's more as long as it doesn't feel like we're just getting books for filler, because that's my beef. I like, even if it's a trilogy and the second book feels like filler, why not make it a duology? Ashley's next question was love triangle trope, yes or no, but I'm actually going to switch this up a little bit and say what my favorite trope is, because I feel like that gets to let you know more about me. My favorite tropes are enemies to lovers, of course. I feel like you can't really be a romantasy girly and not like the enemies to lovers trope, because that's literally like almost the entire genre. You mix a morally gray man and a enemies to lovers romance, you have me sold. There is a 99% chance I will love that book. I won't love that book if something goes really wrong, like Serpents and the Wings of Night. I really don't put a lot of energy into tropes just because I'm really trying hard to read diversely, and it's so easy to get caught up in tropes and not read a book because it's something different than what I already know I like, and I'm trying really hard to stray away from that. But if you tell me anything is like The Cruel Prince, enemies to lovers, romantasy, morally gray man, I am your girl. I will take that book easily, no objections. Okay, book you dislike that everyone else seems to love. Babel. I actually have never disliked a book as much as Babel, and recently The Serpents and the Wings of Night. Babel I have a whole reading vlog on, so you'll get that's actually the first video I put on this channel, so it's probably a little cringe, but that is where you'll get my huge opinion on it. Serpents and the Wings of Night I talked briefly in my August wrap up, but yeah, those books, I don't know, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I put too much hope and expectation into them and they just couldn't meet that. Maybe I let the hype go too far. I really dislike those, which is kind of crazy because like I don't really dislike Reckless or Powerless, but I really do dislike those. I think it's because like Powerless and Reckless are a YA fantasy from a debut author, and I can read them through that lens, and for some reason I just can't. I don't know what it is with Babel and The Serpents and the Wings of Night. Oh, that was the last question. That was the last question. I guess bonus question, maybe we could talk a little bit about like what I do outside of booktube. Like I said, I've been on YouTube as a viewer for a long time, and mainly it's through video games. I'm not gonna say I love video games because they're not like reading to me, but I do really enjoy video games. I enjoy watching people play horror games, a lot of like indie games, super into watching indie games. Stardew, she's my main love her. I play that a lot on my Switch. I'm waiting desperately for the new update 1.6. Another game I really like is Spiritfarer. That's really good. I haven't finished it because it's like 10 times longer than I thought it was originally. I do try to be a crafty girl. I have many dead hobbies right now in my craft cart, like paint and paint markers and stuff like that, because I tried bullet journaling, I tried oil paint, I tried acrylic paints, and I do eventually want to get better at those hobbies, but I just unfortunately can't do all my hobbies at once. In terms of like other media, I watch anime. I am working my way through One Piece. I'm on episode like 420, 425. I don't know. It's good. I love it. Don't get me wrong. Don't let my tone confuse you. I love One Piece. I love anime. It's just a long show and it's like consuming my media time outside of reading and video games. Other anime I really, really love are Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, Spy Family. Love Spy Family. I actually have the Spy Family manga and I'm working my way through reading those, but I definitely slow meal those because they only come out like every March and October and I don't want to blow through all of them. I think that's like pretty much all I do outside of reading. Let's think. Going back to books, other books I really enjoy reading, like I said, The Mortal Instruments, Hunger Games, I loved. Didn't quite finish the Divergent series, which apparently is good because apparently everyone hates Allegiant. Percy Jackson and the Olympians, I thought I was done. Apparently there's more books. I didn't know that. So I am considering going back and catching up on that. Hush Hush was another big book series I read when I was in high school. I think those are like the big hitters that definitely shaped my reading style, young adulthood. Yeah, I think that's enough yapping about myself because if I keep sitting here, I probably just give you way too much TMI. So I'm gonna cut the video here. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it was fun and engaging and a nice little Q&A interview style. I hope I didn't scare you away with those facts about myself. I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.